Hey there, it's CJ Willie and I'm cracking a pack. Today is pack number 1 of my science project of cracking a 1990 Topps Cello box. Check out my preview video for the description on how this science project will test the theory, see if I can build a complete set from a Cello box. I've added the link to my 1990 Topps Cello box preview video in the description below. With all the packs that I crack, I will share my thoughts and memories about some of the players or cards. After I've cracked the pack, I'm gonna choose the best card of the pack. That doesn't literally mean it'll be a rookie, superstar, or Hall of Famer. It can be a goofy photo, something interesting about the player, or maybe some memory I had of the player from back in the day. All right, enough talking. Let's crack this pack. So I've got my 1990 Topps Cello box from the video before. And what I've done is I've gone in and I've numbered each of the Cello packs, 1 through 24, so I can keep track of each one that I crack. So today we're going to crack Cello pack number 1. All right, 1990 brings a lot of memories. I wasn't so hot on 1988 or 1990. I meant 1989. 1990 was interesting because of just the color schematic of the cards. It seemed to be a little crazy in comparison to some of the drab cards or card formats that Topps had put out the 2 previous years. 1987 was probably one of my favorite years. So here we go. Gonna start off with Ernie Witt, catcher with the Blue Jays. Next we have Mike Brumley from the Tigers. Utility player, didn't spend too much time in the major leagues. Hubie Brooks. Hubie Brooks was interesting. I remember him being the main player that the Expos wanted in the Gary Carter trade when they sent Gary Carter to the Mets. I think the Mets won that trade. Gary Carter became a really important figure in their 1986 World Series title. Hubie Brooks didn't do much for the Expos. Bill Wegman, pitcher with the Brewers. Wally Joyner. I absolutely loved Wally Joyner. 1986 Wally World, where he took the American League by storm. The problem was he had a great rookie year, but Jose Canseco was the bigger rookie and won Rookie of the Year. Wallace Johnson, pretty much a pinch hitter, extraordinaire with the Expos, somewhat of a utility player. Next we have Shawan Dunston. Spent a lot of time as a really important part of the Cubs infield. Jim Gatner, second baseman for the Brewers. Next we have Clay Parker. Didn't spend a lot of time in the major leagues. Dave Stieb. I was a Dave Stieb fan. In the American League, for whatever reason, I rooted for the Blue Jays. Dave Stieb was a player that really was the front of the rotation for much of the 80s. Interesting fact about Stieb, he had retired, spent, I want to say 2 or 3 years retired, and made a comeback with the Blue Jays. And I think pitched 1 season. I don't recall if he came back as a starter. Spent probably that season as a reliever. Greg Gagne, shortstop for the Twins. Didn't like Gagne. His Twins beat my beloved Cardinals in the 1987 World Series. Roberto Kelly. He was supposed to be something big coming up with the Yankees. Never really panned out. Bob Boone, catcher with the Royals. I believe for quite a while he either led the major league as a career active leader in games caught. Jeff Kunkel, interesting stat. I think on some of his cards, not only being an infielder, but it also showed as a pitcher. I don't think his career panned out too well as a pitcher. Okay, let's flip these cards over. Earl Cunningham, number 1 draft pick with the Cubs. I don't even think he saw the major leagues. Denny Walling, I didn't like Danny Walling, even though the Cardinals were my team. It was because they traded for Danny Walling and gave up Bob Forsch, one of my favorite pitchers with the Cardinals. Oh, here we go. Rookie card, Juan Gonzalez. So that's a Juan Gonzalez rookie. I like to think that Juan Gonzalez would be a Hall of Famer if he didn't take a bunch of steroids and pretty much derail his career. Chet Lemon, outfielder with the Tigers. Mark Davis, all-star card. He had one great year, and he was an all-star that year. After that, didn't do much at all. Kelly Downs, pitcher with the Giants. He was a pretty key contributor to their World Series run in 1989. Andy Van Slyke. I really liked Andy Van Slyke when he was with the Cardinals. I hated the day I found out that he got traded to the Pirates and the Cardinals got Tony Pena in return. I was not a fan of that trade. Van Slyke obviously went on to have like an awesome career with the Pirates. Storm Davis. Herman Gonzalez. Billy Hatcher. Guy could fly, absolutely fly. When he came out with the Astros, I remember when they played the Mets in the '86 Division Series, Billy Hatcher would chop an infield grounder, run it out for a single just about every single time. Of course, he wasn't as fast as Vince Coleman. Jeff Ballard, all-star card. Oh, got an extra card there. Terry Steinbach, all-star catcher with the A's, made up a major player in their Division Series threesome. I think the A's won the Division Series in 88, 89, and 90. Drew Hall. Rich Thompson. Tim Drummond. There we have our gum with the Topps Company store. I don't think that ever was interested in these special offer cards. I didn't think that they were too much of a special offer. Denny Martinez, El Presidente, great player with the Expos. Later on, spent some time with the Indians. And the final card, Dan Quisenberry. Dan Quisenberry, kind of a interesting story. He was a great reliever with the Royals, led the team in saves multiple years in a row. All of a sudden, I want to say, if we look at the back of his card, around 1988, about 86 or 87, for whatever reason, lost the ability to gain saves, kind of bottomed out with the Royals, and then was able to have a decent couple of years with the Cardinals before he retired. Sad story, though. Later, I believe he passed away from brain cancer. So kind of sad there. All right, I've cracked the pack. So what is my favorite card or the best card out of the pack? This time around, with everything that was in the pack, I'm going to have to be a little bit of a make an easy call here. But I think that the best card out of this pack was the Juan Gonzalez rookie. Juan Gonzalez was a perennial all-star, won an MVP, was on a career path to the Hall of Fame, and I really think him getting into the whole steroids game, it didn't really help him. I think it actually hindered him, and it maybe even possibly created a lot of the career-threatening injuries that he had later on. All right, that's pack number 1 in our science project to see if we can complete a 1990 Topps baseball set out of a Cello box. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it, subscribe, and share. Until next time when I crack pack number 2 from my 1990 Topps Cello box. Remember, this is for science.